Hello YouTube, and welcome to another edition of darthsteve333's pickups video. Basically an overview of all of the pickups and finds at charity shops, car boot sales, and a couple of online purchases. It's going to be a very long episode, so I'll probably split this into 2 or maybe even 3 editions. Unfortunately, time is not something I've got a lot of at the moment. Essentially, I'm having to drive another hour or so more a day, so free time, and especially free time without my wife being in to pull faces at me making videos to transmit across the internet, is in much shorter supply, if I can say it. Anyway, without further ado, it's been strange old few weeks. I've made a few pickups, but it has been quite hard work. Been to a few car boot sales, been to fewer charity shops, made a couple of online purchases as I mentioned. Notably the weekend just gone, the bank holiday weekend that was. Sunday was a washout because of heavy rain, but I had a look around on Monday, but I'll come to that later anyway. Right, okay, without further ado then, this is going to be in as good an order as I can remember. It is going to be a bit haphazard because I've basically piled things up in an effort to try and persuade me or cajole me into making this video. So I've got to make the video. Before I fall over everything and probably kill myself. So, right, I'm just going away over here. Back again. I might actually cut that because no one wants to watch 30 seconds of nothing whatsoever. Any road. Right, where to start? Okay, in fact, yes. We shall start with this, which cost me £1.50 from charity shop near to where I work. I don't really read players' guides. It's Elder Scrolls Oblivion, incidentally, the Game of the Year edition. I don't really read them, to be honest, but if it's a game that I like and I've enjoyed playing and it's in reasonable nick, then I do like to pick them up as a bit of associated fluff, if you like. So yeah, that was £1.50. That was pretty good. What's next? Okay, these I found again in one of the charity shops local to work. I think these were £1.99 each. That's Tekken Dark Resurrection for the PSP, and Activision Hits Remixed also for the PSP. This isn't in the best shape. There's been some water damage to the manual, but it's one I hadn't seen before, and it's retro doing retro, I suppose. So played some of the old classics on that. So yeah, you're beginning to see fewer PSP titles around as well. So right, what was next? This was purchase from a car boot, I forget which, but it's Red Dead Redemption for the PS3. Now I do have this for the 360, but it's such a good game and it's in such great nick. I thought it would be very rude not to pick it up. I do double dip on games I like, so there we go. That was a couple of quid. Let's put you down there. Right. Okay, now I think that moves me on to the car boot that I went to with my mate about 3 weeks ago now. It's one that's a bit of a stretch away from me, and my mate who came along last year and found a scooter for his daughter up one of these things had asked if he could tag along, so off we trotted. As usual, we weren't amongst the first there. We were early, but not amongst the first there. Resellers abounded, but there are the odd bargains to be found. Probably the best of which was this, which I sort of spent more than I would normally spend at a car boot, but you can't really fault the condition. It's a sealed copy of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate for the 3DS, and that seal won't be lasting for long. As much as people decry the opening of games, you know, I haven't played it, I haven't got it, I want to play it, so I'm going to open it. So that was 20 quid. But seeing as that's still 35–40 quid in the shops, I think that's a bit of a bargain, really. Next few things. These were these were 50p each. This is Formula 1 for the PS1. A game I used to play to death until Formula 1 '97 came out, and that was my all-time favourite copy of the Formula 1 series through the PlayStation era. You would think I've got this already, and I have, in my efforts to recapture all of my original games, but it's great condition, incidentally. The reason I've got this one is I think it's better than the one I've got. The one I've got is a Platinum, so that scratches one more off my Platinum collection. Replacing it is this, in a slim case. It's got the manual, it's got the disc, but it's obviously not in a PlayStation case, and also has none of the sleeve or anything like that. But 50p, it's one I haven't got, and I've never played. It's Crash Bash. I think the disc is in reasonable shape on this one. Yeah, a few sort of light scuffs, but nothing major. So that will do until I can find a better copy. Another game which it was languishing. It has no manual, but when you see this sitting in a bucket ready to be dumped, have crap dumped all over it, then you pick it up, and it's Metal Gear Solid Platinum version. Like I say, no instructions. The discs have seen better days, but it's I think it'll be playable. I'll give that a clean up, and that'll probably go in my trading pile. And then the final PS1 game that I picked up on that particular day was one that I can't recall seeing back in the day or recently. It just looks like a generic puzzle game. Yeah, here it is. It was I think this was 50p as well. This was Sorcerer's Maze. This was from a different seller. So yeah. Right. Other things at that sale. This was £3, adding to my Wii U collection. I've now got 6. Well, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games if you class Bayonetta double pack as 2 games, which it is. But yeah, £3. I don't think it's much more brand new, but another game for the Wii U collection. So give it a go. £3. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If it's rubbish, then I haven't really wasted a lot. It's less than half a pack of fags. So there you go, or about the same as a pint of beer. So you can't grumble at that. Right, next, these were from the same sale. This I fully appreciate because I do play PC games when I get a couple of minutes. This is part, I think, of the Shogun Total War Gold Edition. I say part because it looks like something's missing from here. It's got that part of the sleeve, and it's it's got the discs in and the manual. No serial anywhere, but that doesn't really bother me because I've got all of the I've got all the Total War series. I do like the games. British company. Obviously they've branched out a bit recently and done their Alien Isolation, but I like to support the old British companies where I can, and of course it's published by Sega, who it appears is stepping out of the console market now. But yeah, as I was saying before I meandered away from the topic, I've bought all of these so far. However, Shogun is notable because I think that's the only one I bought digitally. So I'm a bit funny about buying digitally because although I don't see Steam coming down anytime soon, I like to have a hard copy of the game, as I'm sure anyone that's watching this as a collector of games would appreciate. I just find the tangible thing of having something in your hands much more, you know, it's infinitely preferable to having some code which says you're essentially renting a game from somewhere remote that you'll never see. So anyway, saw that, I thought, well, I've got it digitally, I'd like to have it on disc. I'm sure there's cracks out there that I could use if if Steam ever did go down and I wanted to play it. So there you go, that would cost me, I think that was 50p or a pound, can't remember for certain. What did cost me a pound, no, £2, was this. Another sealed copy game, Football Manager 2015. Now, the kind of people that normally buy this are basically hooked on it, or you know, they buy most Football Manager games, myself being amongst them, although I think I did miss 2014. So it strikes me as unusual that it's sealed. Whether it was an unwanted present, I don't know. If it was, you'd expect them to be asking for more than £2. It makes you wonder if someone's lifted this from somewhere, from a supermarket or something, which I'm a bit sort of dubious about supporting, really. But I don't know. Tell the truth. I mean, you see this for £2 at a car boot, you sort of buy it and then you think, oh, actually, I wonder if I've bought something that may not have been obtained 100% legally. I don't know, but you know, maybe that's me overthinking things. But anyway, that was £2. Again, the seal will come off this. I will do my usual thing, setting up a team, setting up a hell of a lot of tactics, and doing okay for the first third of the season, then not being able to win a game, and then just struggling against relegation, issuing an ultimatum to the board, and then get fired, which seems to happen every year, but maybe there'll be more interaction with the press on it this time. Anyway, those delights are yet to come, if I can ever pull myself away from Destiny at the moment, but that's another story. The last thing I think I picked up that weekend was this, Sid Meier's Sim Golf. Now, I remember this, obviously it's a PC game, I remember this being, or receiving, middling reviews at the time. I was a bit curious, and always wondered how it played, so I thought if I ever see it cheap I might pick it up, and this was 50p, 20p, something like that. And I just actually read a little article in one of the magazines I subscribed to, it could have been Games or possibly PC Games I think, about how someone loved this game. So I thought, oh well, it's fate. I've read an article on it the previous day, I've seen it there for 50p or 20p, pick it up, give it a go. Again, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So that was, I think, the sum total of what I picked up at that particular car boot about 3-4 weeks ago with my mate. So it wasn't a bad little haul. I mean, he didn't really get what he was looking for, which was he was looking for Skylanders figures for his daughter, who's just picked up one of the older ones second hand, because they've asked, you know, can we try that out? And he was looking to sort of get into it on the cheap. Excuse me a moment. What we found was a lot of the people selling them were actually selling them more expensive than places like Computer Exchange or Game or whatever for second-hand ones, which we found a bit odd. So he thought, well, you know, no point buying them. I think he got a couple of bits and bobs, but nothing to shout about. Then we got a few sort of odds and sods really that I picked up here and there. Like I say, I mean, it must be 6, maybe even 8 weeks since my last video. So there's been a fair few car boots visited and a fair few little bits and bobs picked up here and there. So the best thing I picked up probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. Came home with, I think, literally one thing, which was just placed on a table full of crap, basically. Lots of broken looking things, lots of bits of things. Nothing seemed particularly complete, and half obscured really under one of these broken things was Game Boy Advance game, which I was quite surprised to see, and it was Zelda, the Minish Cap. So that cost me 50p, so pleased with that. It made the cost of entry, 35p, worthwhile. Again, a little miscellaneous pickup from a few weeks ago. Again, yeah, sort of, bear with me. Again, a purveyor of crap stall, essentially. You know, mainly stuff which looked like it had been dragged through edge backwards and then chucked in a quarry and then stamped over in a lot of cases. But I did see a couple of things of interest. One of which was, well, what initially got my attention was this, which is a headset for the PC. It's a Roccat headset, and what initially drew my attention was I thought these things are quite valuable. I think it's seen some wear and it might not work yet because I once again haven't got round to testing it due to lack of time. But and it's missing the microphone, but this is a Roccat Cave. I think it's a 5.1 or 7.1 surround set, so it's got a little opening thing there, centre front rear sub, settings in here. I think that was about £2. £2, yeah, I think it was £2. So I thought, again, lots of connections at the end as well. I've yet to download the manual to find out where exactly some of these go, but yeah, I'll test that out soon. So I saw that, and my eyes wandered while I was paying for that. And I saw two other things, and they were just like that. And I thought, they look like Game Boy Advance games. So I had a look, and lo and behold, there they were. So actually, that particular stall, when I first happened upon it, the guy wasn't there. I thought, oh, someone's left the stall unattended. So I sort of loitered round, pretending to pick through the rest of the remaining crap, whilst not drawing attention to the headset and these Game Boy Advance games. Sort of meandered and loitered, and it didn't look like he was coming back, so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to have to leave it for a second. So I mooched up and down the aisle a couple of times, and finally it looked like he'd come back, and like I say, he sold me the headset for £2. And I asked him how much for these as well, and I think he said £2 as well. So the first one is just one game in the case, and oddly, a USB controller flap thing from a Xbox 360 old style. I know this because I tried to fix, well, I did actually fix one on mine a few months back. But yeah, so that was a bonus in itself, a useful little spare. Excuse the cat. She's having a moan because I've come in late and my wife's not back yet, and she's going, where's the other one, the one that feeds me? She'll have to be patient. Right, so the first game was the Crash and Spyro Super Pack Volume 3, which is Crash Fusion and Spyro Fusion. So there's that. As I say, this was one of 3 games that cost me a total of £2. The next one was Crash Nitro Kart. And the final one, the one I was most pleased to pick up because I'm a bit of a fan of this game, as you'll probably discover later on in the video, is Doom. So very pleased to get that, and basically 3 Game Boy Advance games and a little spare doohickey for £2 is not bad in anyone's money, so that was quite useful. I think the last thing I found was this, which now gives me I think 2 or 3 of these, and it's an Xbox original crystal controller in decent nick. So I'm an exponent of you can never have too many controllers, so very pleased to pick that up. That was £1, I think. And what else? I think that pretty much goes through everything I've picked up on a miscellaneous sense. Sort of odds and sods. That goes over here. What is it? I'll tell you what, I'll go through some recent current gen pickups. So, current gen pickups. I got a couple of games from Asda, because they seem to discount games for no apparent reason sometimes. So we were in Asda. I was slowly losing the will to live, and as I tend to do towards the end of shopping trips, is I go and loiter by the entertainment section to look at things which make me happy, which are basically computer games and films. So there I was, and I was looking through these, and I picked up one game which was Dark Souls 2 for the Xbox 360. Now I can't show you this because it's in the collection up behind me, which you can't see in this shot. That's already in its place. The other thing I picked up though, which I haven't opened yet, special guest appearance by the cat again, is Infamous First Light, and I think that cost me either £6 or £8. Now I've got the Infamous Second Son for the PS4, so again this is a game which is DLC, but as mentioned earlier, I like to have the hard copy, so very pleased to get that, because although I could have downloaded it as an expansion, the whole sort of can you do it in 10 years time, you know, it doesn't have to be a factor then. So yeah, like I say, either £6 or £8, but I thought a hell of a bargain, so pleased to get that. Full price, well, semi-full price purchase. I wanted to get this immediately when it was released. I wanted to get the Steelbook, but then the Steelbook was being sold in game and they were absolutely taking the piss, essentially, with the pricing. It's Final Fantasy Typo HD. Now, as people who have picked this up will probably attest, Steelbook version, only available at game. I think the only real difference between this and the Steelbook is the Steelbook. And they were charging a horrendous and horrifying £54.99. Now, I think the one and only game I've paid that level of money for was Street Fighter 2, way back in the day, in the days of the SNES. And, you know, I think paying that much for a game, especially one which is a PSP remaster with an exclusive demo, I think that's obscene. So happily, about a month after release, they put the price down for a week or two, and I got this for £29.99 with a couple of £3 knocked off because I got some reward points. But yeah, very pleased to get that. Then we'll go into the Final Fantasy collection, and should be good. Anyway, right. More bargainous current gen games. These were picked up last weekend. I again was in a supermarket and doing my usual browse round, and I saw they got an offer on selected Xbox One and PS4 games, three for the price of 2. And happily, there were 3 games in there that I've been planning to pick up at some point or the other. So these cost me a grand total of £60. So I got Sunset Overdrive, which I played the demo. I think there was a demo weekend a couple of months back. And the game didn't actually strike me as being anything I'd be interested in originally. But I thought I'd give it a go as it's Insomniac. And actually, you know, thought, oh, this ain't so bad. I'll wait till it comes down, I'll pick it up. So lo and behold, it was in the offer. So I thought, okay, yeah, that's good. One that I've been waiting for going down in price again, and very pleased that it has, and that I've picked it up, is Forza Horizon 2, which coincidentally I played the Fast and Furious expansion, which they gave away free for the first week. I actually played that for the first time last night, found it to be quite good fun, played it for a solid couple of hours or so, you know, enjoyed it. I think I'm about 40% of the way through it, so I'm glad I picked it up free, but yeah, I imagine there's a lot more depth in that, so that was that. And the last one is Dying Light for the PS4. Again, I think this is available on the Xbox One as well, but I'm trying to get multi-platforms on the PS4 this time round, because more of my mates have got the PS4, so I can play online with them if I need to or want to, and more system exclusives on the one, so on the Xbox One. So unfortunately, a lot of people fell out with Microsoft, myself included actually, after they came out with all that rigmarole to do with Don Matic and his crazy ideas. And although they've obviously backtracked on a lot of those things now, a lot of people have got longer memories than I think Microsoft appreciated at the time. So yeah, a lot of my Xbox 360 owning mates all have PS4s now, so if I want to play online with them, I have to get PS4 version. Anyway, I'm going to put a little pause in there because I'm aware this has gone on for quite a while already. So this is probably going to be the end of part 2. If you get a chance, obviously have a watch. There's some more good pickups to go. There might even be a part 3, depending on how long I rumble on for. But yeah, for the time being, this is darthsteve333 saying cheerio.